homeschooling felt messy for you this year, like too much screen time, falling behind on work, not enough outdoor time, and you're feeling guilty about it all, then this video is for you. Hey guys, it's Fani from Mrs. Mom's Homeschool and welcome to my channel. And today I want to share with you, this is like my year-end reflection, and then I want to share with you how I'm going to be planning for the rest of this homeschool year. Because most of the time homeschool isn't aesthetic, at least it's not in my home. I know it may seem like that with all the edits and the music and all the cuts and things like that. But homeschooling is hard, guys, and I know that a lot of you guys understand that as well. Either somebody's always hungry, or someone all of a sudden has a stomach ache or a headache, or someone just doesn't want to wake up in the morning because they went to bed too late the night before, or maybe they can't get along with their siblings that day. There's just so many reasons why our little people give us a hard time during homeschooling. But not just them, life is also hard, where a lot of us are dealing with traumas or other things that are going on in life, and it just makes everything a lot more challenging when you're dealing with children or anybody in general. So if this year felt overwhelming, or like you've lost control, or you're completely behind, or you just need a new refresher and restart, then you're not alone. By the way, this kind of honest talk is something that you guys like. Go ahead and please subscribe and hit the notification bell, as well as give me a thumbs up so that I can continue to provide this content for you. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Let's reflect back on what didn't work. Or you know what, let's start positive. Let's start on what did work this year. The problem is I can't think of anything that did work this year personally. But you guys should think of the 3 things that worked for you well this year. Maybe you had a good schedule, or your kids are starting school on time, or maybe you got a lot done. Maybe you got to get outside more often. Whatever worked well for you this homeschool year, you want to focus on those 3 things first and keep them in the forefront of your mind, because hey, you did something good. Now it's time to think of the things that did not work. Were you getting up too late? Were you having a hard time creating structure with the family? Was it a curriculum that just wasn't working? Are you guys maybe doing too much, too many subjects, or too many outside of the home activities? Maybe your kids have different types of therapies, and there's all these moving parts and rides and driving here and there, and you don't have a lot of time to focus on your homeschool. Maybe you're doing so much, you're not even getting to spend quality time with your kids, and you feel guilty because of that. And maybe you're just emotionally tapped out. Try to name that without putting yourself down. Like, this homeschool year has been hard for me. My capacity was smaller. I needed more support, and my children needed more support, because it is not your fault. And I don't want you blaming yourself and making yourself feel worse than you already do. Things happen, life happens, life is hard. Being a mom is hard, being a dad is hard, homeschooling is hard. When you put that all together, it's hard. So yeah, don't feel guilty about any of this. We're gonna get through this together. Number 3, you wanna ask yourself, what did this year teach you about your kids? Now this is really big, because it could be something like maybe one child needs more warning before transition times. Maybe you have a teenager that literally needs you to sit by her while she's working so that she's staying on task. Maybe it's entertaining toddler before you start your school day is what makes it easier on the baby. Maybe there's a child who needs shorter lessons, a different type of learning, less talking and more doing. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's like this is when my kids want to talk. They want to tell me everything under the sun while we are homeschooling. And like, how can I stop them? Like, they're talking to me about their lives and things they enjoy. Like, I don't want to stop them, but it's a fine line that trying to find that balance between allowing the conversations and getting schoolwork done. Maybe you have a child who needs more encouragement and less babying. And maybe it taught us something about ourselves as well. Next, let's go into the planning ahead. This is what I call the peace first system. This is where moms and dads usually go into the panic mode. So here's the rule. Planning ahead is not a punishment for what didn't get done last year. It's a gift to us for what we're gonna do in the future. And so we're gonna do this in 4 simple steps. Step 1, you're gonna choose 3 priorities. What are 3 priorities that you wanna do for the next season? Now, you don't need a planner to do this, but For me, having planners makes my life so much easier when I actually follow them. So that's one of my commitments and resolutions this year, is to be consistent in following my planner, because I know how helpful it can be. So today I want to give a little shout out to creators of the Well Ordered Homeschool, because they just sent me their planner called the Well Ordered Day Planner, which I didn't even know they had. And when I found it, I was super excited. So I'm gonna show you inside of that. Remember, you don't need a planner, but it's definitely very helpful to not have to create your own system. But I am gonna show you how we're gonna organize this homeschool year using the steps in this planner. And you can check out the planner in the link below, or you can just grab a notebook and write down your ideas. Okay, so let's turn the camera around. Okay guys, here's my beautiful planner, the Well Ordered Day. This might sound familiar to you if you've heard of the Well Ordered Homeschool, which is the homeschool planner that I use as well. So first, I recommend you choosing 3 priorities for the next season by mapping out your vision. You may want to use some words that you feel are really going to prepare you. For example, on this page, there's a list of words where you're going to map out a vision of what you want your year to look like. And I picked things like fulfilling, simple, togetherness, tidy, fun, peaceful, organized, freeing. And then from those list of what I've circled, I put my top 3. So find your top 3 words that you want to focus on this homeschool year. And then you're going to write how you're going to go about doing that. So that is the priority, is getting your homeschool and at-home atmosphere not spotless, just calmer, with less chaos, less yelling, more predictability. Part of that is organizing your home, your homeschooler. So not only is your home your school, it's also your sanctuary. So you want to make sure that your home feels that way. If your home is messy or dirty, then you're gonna feel the same way in your mind, and you're not gonna be able to function well, and then you're gonna start yelling at your kids and making them do stuff. Next thing you know, all you're doing is chores during the homeschool day, and nothing has gotten done that you had meant to do. So that is why this part, to me, is super important. And the first step is routines. In order for you to have a good homeschool day, you need a routine. No matter what it is, it doesn't even have to go by time, but it should be a routine of what you're gonna do every day and every evening. And that's gonna look different for you and for your kids, but you should definitely have some sort of daily stability, some daily routine, because when mom is drowning, homeschool becomes survival mode. So if somebody needed permission to keep the plan simple, here it is. Because in step 2, we're gonna build a minimum day. When I say build a minimum day is what gets done when life gets hard, when the doctor appointment took too long, when you woke up feeling like you have a sore throat and now you know you're not gonna be super productive today, when you just got a phone call, something that's making you feel really down and your mood is just not there, you just can't even pretend for the day. So this is your simple plan. You're gonna pick your top subjects that are a must. For example, Bible and prayer, math, language arts, or math and reading. And one home reset, which is a 10-minute tidy that everybody in the house can get done. Just set a timer of 10 minutes and the entire household just picks up as much as they can in those 10 minutes. This is your bare minimum day. This is for those hard times. This is for those stressful times, those sick times, and those busy times. If more happens, amazing, but if not, it still counts. So this keeps me from the all or nothing crash. Part 3, the homeschool reset. So now for the practical reset, this is my planning ahead checklist. 1, I'm cleaning my home space like I'm blessing the future me. Not a whole house makeover, not a deep cleaning where I'm scrubbing baseboards, just the homeschool zone. Things off the floor, the trash is empty, desks are clear, supplies are in the bin. What I need for the day is where it needs to be, because I don't want to spend the entire day looking around the entire house for this one science thing and then I can't even complete science because I can't find it. Does that happen to you guys? It happens to me every day. And 2, simplify your curriculum. So I just realized that having 2 separate history curriculums, 2 separate everything for my kids, it's just really not going well, because what's happening is my daughter's not doing any history and neither is my son. I have one in high school and one who's in 5th grade, so that's a pretty wide range, but I just decided that, you know what, forget it. I'm just gonna add her to his history and then just have her do like the easier parts. So adjust your curriculum and make it simpler. If there's a curriculum that brings tears to your kids' eyes, change it or adjust it. If something makes your kids shut down, shorten it or move on to something else. If something makes me dread the day, it gets paused or replaced. Or I turn it into over to someone else to teach, like my homeschool co-op or a YouTube video even. So another piece of advice is to begin starting your day with a morning anchor. Let's say breakfast, devotional while you're doing breakfast, and a prayer for the school day, because guys, you need that. Then quick breakfast tidy, and then do your group subjects, like for us will be history and Bible together. Then they can break off, do their independent work, or you can work one-on-one or whatever it is that you normally do. One of my favorite things to do is to write a home vision paragraph of how you want your day to be. Like, I want my home to be peaceful. I want my kids to wake up in the morning and do their chores and do the things they're supposed to do. And I want us to sit at the table, and I want us to do our Bible study together and do history together. Then after that, my son goes off and works by himself while I do the one-on-one with my daughter. Like, having this whole vision that's never gonna happen. No, I'm just kidding. Having this vision is, the purpose is to try to make it happen as much as you can and plan from that vision. So if this year was hard, guys, it doesn't mean that the next year has to be harder. If last semester was hard, it doesn't mean that the following semester of school has to be hard. We're in January now, like it's a new year. When I'm recording this is the time that people like to start fresh, so let's do it. Let's start fresh together. A hard year can still be a fruitful year. A messy year can still be meaningful. And a tired mom can still be used powerfully by God, or dad. A dad can be used too. Sorry, dads. I'm trying not to leave you guys out. I really am not, and I see that more dads are watching my videos, and I'm gonna try to put the word dad back into my vocabulary. I'm just used to talking to the moms, but dads, these videos are for you too. Just remember, guys, planning ahead is not about becoming a new person overnight. It's about small choices that add up until one day you look around and you're like, hey, wait, this is the vision that I had for my homeschool. Or wait, I'm not drowning today. That is the ultimate goal, is that you feel at peace with what you're doing. If you guys want, please drop a comment. Tell me what is one thing that you're gonna add to this upcoming homeschool year and one thing that you're taking away. And if you want more videos like this, simple homeschool systems, gentle structure, and real life advice, then make sure you subscribe. And then make sure you watch every video that I post forever. I'm just kidding, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this helped you. If you want to check out that planner, check out the link in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.